You're now listening to the 1130 podcast. Enjoy the show.
Yo, what it do, everybody? It's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels. Y'all already know what it is. Welcome back, everyone, to the 1130 podcast. What's goody, everybody doing out there on this beautiful, beautiful Wednesday? I'm back at it. You know what time it is. It's not 7:30. It's 11:30. You guys, it's time for the podcast. Good morning to everyone who's listening to me on EB Radio this morning. For those who are coming back and joining me on YouTube, man, for real. Speaking of YouTube, you already know if you're new to the 1130 podcast, which I love new people joining in each and every week. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, like, leave a comment, and do all that great stuff. And don't forget to follow the 1130 podcast on all social media platforms. But you guys, like I said, it's Wednesday. It's time for the podcast. We're going to continue celebrating Black excellence here on the 1130 podcast here on EB Radio on YouTube this week. I got two amazing guests, you guys, that's going to be joining me here on the podcast. First up, my amazing guest. She's got an amazing story. She's going to be joining me here. Her name is P.L.U.M.P Queen. She's an entrepreneur. She's the CEO of Ampspiremedia LLC. We're going to be chopping it up with her, and it's going to be great. As you can see, she's joining me right now. And also, coming up later on in the podcast, my guy RG. So he's going to be stopping past, chatting it up a little later on in the show. But before we get into the show, shout out my guest who was on last week, Dr. K. Thank you for coming on the show. Speaking of the show, let's get into it. P.L.U.M.P Queen, how's it going?
I'm good. Also with the sauce on it. Can't complain. How about you, sir?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for taking the invite, coming here on the 1130 podcast. Like I was saying before the show, I was chatting with you. Love your amazing story, and I love that, you're joining here looking nice on the 1130 podcast this week. So we're going to get into how life treating you.
Life is treating me well. I cannot complain. I'm alive. I'm here, on the 1130 podcast. So, everything is great.
Hey, that's what's up. Can't complain. Got to be blessed. Like I said, you got an amazing story. You're turning tragedy into triumphing. And I wanted you to, you got the floor, and I want you to tell my listeners something about yourself and, tell everyone about your amazing story.
All right. Well, my real name is Tamara Houston. I'm from Queens, New York. I was born and raised there. I started off, well, as you can see, I'm an amputee. I've been an amputee for about 14 years now. Actually, May 27th will be 15 years, as a matter of fact. That's a long story, but I guess I can break it down for you. In 2007, I got into a car accident with a friend of mine. She was driving. We were riding on the Southern State. Anybody from New York knows that road is a winding road. She fell asleep and I woke up like this. According to her, her car flipped over a few times, and I'm going to assume that, my arm was amputated during the situation. But when I first woke up, I had no idea my arm was gone. I was kind of looking for my friend because I figured since I'm, up and about that I was okay. But the nurses had to tell me that, no, you got some things that you're going to have to work with, and, you need to worry about yourself. And then they let me know that I lost my arm. And my first words was, thank God that I'm alive. I was just happy that I survived that. So actually, I was working for an advertising and marketing company.
Okay.
And a friend of mine, we were driving a friend home. We did a campaign that weekend, so we went out to party, actually. We had a whole plan set up, but the plan kind of not derailed, but kind of changed. And that's why we ended up going to Hempstead.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we were just working for an advertising and marketing company, selling products and things of that nature.
Yeah. That's when I, came across you, and I heard, and I read everything about you, and you were telling, your listeners and telling the world about your amazing story and how you came from, tragedy into, where you are right now. And like you said, in May 2007, everything took for a turn. And you say you guys didn't get no sleep. You guys didn't get a lot of sleep. And your friend fell asleep, and you were also asleep. And the car, flipped several times, and you were asleep the whole entire time. How Tell me how you felt about that once you came to, and you were working up into the hospital. That
Oh,
you don't have no memory of it.
I'm grateful that my experience happened the way that it have. I believe that's why I've taken it the way that I have, because I didn't hear, see, feel anything. I literally fell asleep one moment, and the next moment I was in a hospital looking around looking for my friend. So I feel like that was the best way that this thing could have happened, and I couldn't have asked for anything more.
And
I
it,
definitely I definitely missed the hard part, if you ask me, because I know people who were awake, but their
yeah,
situations felt their limbs ripping from their bodies, and you know, yeah, I don't know what that's like.
yeah. And you said you and your friend still has a good relationship to this day, right?
Yes, you do. Yes, we do. That's my
Yeah.
friend. I love her. She has a beautiful husband and child and a life. You know what I'm saying? We live in the same state. We don't talk as much because I'm busy and so is she, but she is
Mhm.
my sister, and I appreciate her part in my story. As crazy as that may sound, I'm glad
Yeah.
it was her.
Yeah. You also talked about how maybe some people would think that you would have resentment towards your friend. How did you handle that situation? Like you said, when she first woke up, you were thinking about her rather than yourself. So how did you get through that and stuff?
Well, I think my mindset is mistakes happen. As big as this mistake was, but I'm human and I'm not above
Yeah.
reproach.
Hmm.
I like to think if I were to ever do something, make a mistake that, alters someone else's life, I would like them to have, some compassion for me, you know what I'm saying? Some overstanding for me because I didn't mean to do that. So in order to get things, you got to receive them. So, and she's my friend. And when I love people, I love them. I mean that. I have an affection for you. So I can't just do the 180 and hate your guts. And you know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Even if you do something, your intentions is what I really go by. And she did not mean to do that. She's one of the best drivers I know. You see what
Hmm.
I'm saying? It was just simply us working 72 hours a week, you know what I mean? And finally trying to go out and have some fun and just detouring, our original plans.
Yeah, but you here and your friend here. Thank God, because it's a definitely a blessing. What keeps you going emotionally? Because you talked about how the recovery part, as far as physically, wasn't that bad, but how was it, far as emotionally?
Emotionally was the biggest thing for me. I'm a very emotional person, and I feel like my ancestors and the universe had me go through this so I can fix those things. My biggest thing was relating to other people, at least the people that were close to me. Outside people are cool. Y'all love me. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool in the game, but it's the people, my family, my friends. I learned that I had a lot of codependencies, what I'm saying, within myself, and I learned that through, losing my arm. I also learned, how life really is. Doesn't matter how nice you are, how good you are, what you do in this world, everybody's responsible for themselves. Everybody's responsible for their journey. You know what I mean? And no one is truly obligated to you, no matter what happens to you. I
Hmm.
had to learn that, and I'm glad I learned that early instead
Yeah,
of feeling resentment and feeling like, oh, you're supposed to do this, so you really don't care or you really don't love me. Now, this was just the universe teaching me to stand on my own 2 feet. He left my 2 feet, so he was teaching me how to stand on them.
mm, I like that. I really do, because each and every day I definitely always talk about on my podcast or whether on my YouTube channel, me dealing with life with a disability and stuff like that. So I couldn't imagine, gone through your situation, losing the arm. So did you deal with any regrets or anything, or any down moments?
Oh, definitely, all the time. It's just more about understanding who I am. Losing my arm taught me that, this body, it's not who you are. You know what I'm saying? Your mind, your soul, those are the things that matter. And as long as you're trying to do something with your life and, find your purpose, what I'm saying, then you're good. So that's what kind of got me through those moments. But I deal with spirituality. I'm not religious. I deal with my ancestors. I meditate. I use tarot cards, to get messages and things of that. So tapping in to those things also help me. Understanding what the world is, is what really keeps me focused. And I've just been doing what I call shadow work,
Okay.
holding myself accountable for my actions, my thoughts. A lot of my problems came from expectations that were unrealistic, not necessarily because someone did something or the situation was bad. It was just based off my perspective. And I had to learn that. So those low moments were my lessons. That's how I see. I don't see problems. I only see lessons.
I like that. I really do. I really do like that. What keeps you inspired?
My purpose, the fact that I found my purpose, and I know that because, like I said, I have a podcast of my own. I have a whole network that I am using my life and my life experiences to help others, get through their lives, get through their traumas, and to understand that, as long as you're alive and you're breathing, you have a chance to change your life. You are the co-creator of your life, and you can do it.
Yeah, you definitely can. I always ask my guests each and every week what definitely inspires them because I always find many things, to keep myself inspired. You talk about your inspired media TV television show that you have coming and your podcast that you turn everything, your whole story into your journey now. Can you tell my listeners about it though?
Sure. Well, in 2018, I was still on this journey of looking for my purpose. So I just decided to start going live on Facebook and start talking about my story and my experiences and actually my opinions about what goes on in the world. I'm very pro-black. I guess that's a phrase to use. I'm really about my community and fixing the issues that we have going on. So I figured, why not just go on and just jump off the cliff and do it. So I started going live 3 days out of the week. Got a lot of good feedback from that. And then my stepdad told me, well, we need to turn this into a business. So in 2019, I was like, all right, cool, help me do that. So that's how Ampspiremedia LLC started. The show was Ampspiration TTV. That was the name of my podcast. The TTV is Tell Truth Vision.
Okay.
Because, I like to tell the truth, whether they're uncomfortable or not. If you check out some of my videos, you'll see what I mean. So then once we started the business, I started to have to think business minded. But then the pandemic happened. So I had to start reevaluating things. I had to grow some more. My emotions, as you asked earlier, I'm an emotional person, so I take things personally sometimes. And in business, you can't do that.
Yeah.
So I had to go through a few things to teach me that. And then once I learned, I stumbled upon a streaming channel on Roku that I'm now naming Ampspiremedia Network.
Okay, that is what's up. That is awesome. Definitely turning tragedy into triumph. I love that you found your purpose. Me, it took a while for myself to find my purpose because I wasn't always dealing, having confidence within myself or having faith in myself. How was it like for you in that road to finding your purpose, and did you dealing with doubt?
I'm still on that road.
Mhm.
I still deal with doubt to this day. You know what I mean? And I use that to fuel to teach others what not to do. I try to use myself because everybody wants an expert who's already got it going on. I use
Mhm.
my flaws as my punchline. I'm
Okay.
going through this process right now so you can see it in real time. To this day, I have a problem with pricing myself. I don't want to, I always lowball myself thinking that, what I have to say is not worthy, to be paid for.
Why is that?
Because I'm so used to being a giver. I'm so used to, and then I also look at my life and the things that I have to offer. When you think about success, I don't have a lot of money. I'm on disability right now. I'm doing everything literally one wing in everything that I have. And when you think about people in business, they respect assets. They respect a certain lifestyle and a certain thing. I don't have any of those things. I'm still walking and taking the bus. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like people won't take me seriously because I'm not a Beyonce or a Joe Peso, or a Bill Gates type person. It's not valued enough, and that shit ain't true. Hope I can curse. Sorry if I
Hey,
was supposed to
hey,
curse.
look here, look here. You said
Not true.
you said everything that I be thinking at times. It's the same thing. Like you gotta a hustle. You gotta hustle and just try to make it and invest in yourself because just like you said, you may not be a Beyonce and people won't support you just because you don't have, something valuable that they can, get from you, or that you're not a big celebrity or stuff like that. I'm on disability too. I'm doing, trying to make ends meet and catching, I ain't been on the bus since COVID, but they got Metro Access to come pick me up. But other than that, like I'm dealing with the same things, as far as self-doubt and things that we're okay, maybe people feel like, okay, if I'm really, I be wanting feedback, and people be like, they be throwing shade, or it just don't be working out. So I just be like, you know what? I just stay true to myself and just keep it going on and just try to stay motivated, because there's a lot of things that, could tear you down and stuff.
Well, man, you doing good, because you got to teach me how to do that intro you just did, because my intros don't look like none of that. Let me just keep it real. I'm putting photo collages together using TikTok as the music. So yeah, you doing big things. You got to teach me some things.
I look here. I would not mind teaching anybody, because I've been podcasting for about 2 years. So a lot of people come. A lot of people come to me and be like, "Yo, I really like this. I really like that." So I found my purpose of what I do. My fiance always like, "Yo, when you edit in, some people I hear take 4 or 5 hours to edit, and it'll be an hour and a half, and I'm be like, I'm done," or the outcome of it, I just get a good reception. So I definitely always knew what I wanted to do. It was just definitely trying to find myself, because life ain't easy, as we all know. Life ain't easy though. But you guys, man, we're gonna move on here on the 1130 podcast. It's time, you guys, for the 1130 podcast hot seat. Yes, it's time for the hot seat. We gonna got some questions for you, Plump Queen, and we're gonna roll with it. You ready?
Hot seat.
All right. Here we go. All right. Okay. Can you describe your life in a 6-word sentence?
In a 6-word sentence. My life is forever progressing divinely.
Okay. I like that. Okay. All right. Looking back on your life, what have you done that has given you the most satisfaction?
Oh, my growth, my emotional and mental growth is my biggest accomplishment.
Okay.
That is my biggest accomplishment. Yes.
Okay. Cool. What is the biggest lie that a guy has told you?
That a guy has told me. I don't know, and I gotta think about that. That his life is better with me laying next to him.
Sound like a guy lie. Sound like a lie what a guy would say,
Here's the thing, he didn't know he was lying though.
He didn't know he was lying?
He didn't know he was lying.
That's crazy. Typical stuff, man. If you could dedicate your life to solving one problem, what problem would you choose?
Already have childhood trauma.
Okay, childhood trauma. All right. Definitely. If your 5-year-old self suddenly found themselves inhabiting your current body, what would your 5-year-old self do first?
Oh, I'd have a fun in nature. I'd be all in somebody's forest.
In some forest?
I'll be in somebody's forest, in somebody's ocean, I would have that childlike, you know how children play just in a park and things like that. I'm really connected to nature. So if I had the 5-year-old mind and I was in this body, I would just jump in. You know how as an adult, you now have caution. This is dirty. This may be dangerous. I would probably just jump in lakes, climb trees, jump out of planes. That's probably what I would do.
That's so fitting that you said that. I had a guest on a while ago, my guy Quan John. He's a motivational speaker and an author, and he said something that really stuck out, and it reminded me of what you just said, because if the question was, if your 5-year-old self was just in your body now, and you said you would just do whatever, you wouldn't be so cautious. And I think that when we are as young, we are ourselves. We just are free. And now that we're so adults, we done gone through so much trauma and held so much back, and we're so much conscious. So when you're just child, you just live life. You ain't got no worries. So I thought that was interesting. Okay, what are some challenges you think the next generation will face?
Ooh, it's a lot of that. Finding themselves. With this metaverse coming up, everybody is trying to create this illusion. They trying to create this matrix to get them away from their real life, and that's not going to be good for the new generation, because you're still here. You still got to live here. You still got to deal with your shit. So
Yeah.
hopping into some virtual reality, trying to run somewhere, that's not going to help.
Yeah, I'm a little slow on all that metaverse. I don't even know what is what is it actually though.
Think of Sims. Remember when the Sims game came out?
Okay, yeah.
And you can have your own family, build your own house, build your own life.
Okay.
Oh, that's that on steroids. So
Oh
now
wow.
think of the movie Minority Report. Ever seen it?
Yes.
You know the scene where Tom Cruise is trying to find the dude in that place so he can unlock the precog's mind and get the messages out?
I believe so.
So
Yes.
that whole place he was at, yeah, that's the metaverse right there. So you can go in there and it feels real. If you do some research, you'll see people are having all types of crazy sex on the metaverse right now. Right now.
Okay.
Wow. Wow.
Oh man.
It feels so real.
Yeah, that's crazy. Technology is coming a long way. It's coming a long way. It's kind of reminding me of I don't know if you've seen this Netflix series Black Mirror.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
that's
saw
that's
the Bandersnatch version of it where it has an alternate ending. You get to pick the ending depending on what choices you make.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. The world is something else for real. But Plum Queen, I appreciate you playing. Well, appreciate you having been here on the 1130 podcast and being in the hot seat. It was real awesome. Before you go, like you said, you have an amazing podcast. Tell my listeners about it, when they can catch it and when they can tune in.
Absolutely. Well, on Saturdays, we have our Soul Therapy Childhood Trauma Podcast segment on at 12 now. We used to be at 9, but it's at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can find it on YouTube. You can find it on Anchor as well as Facebook at Ampspiremedia Network. And on Sundays, we have Sundays with Spirit. Me and my cousin, she is a intuitive reader, so we are bringing an educational aspect to tarot reading. Instead of just picking cards, we're really getting into the purpose of what it's about, because like I said, that was a big thing with helping me with my emotions and getting through my traumas. So I wanted to put that out there for the world to see. And
Okay.
I'm also going back to my live shows. I've changed the name to just Tell True Vision Social Media Live, where I'm going to go back to talking my shit. So I have several topics to talk about. So that's going to be Mondays and Thursdays. So Mondays
Okay.
and Thursdays live, Saturdays childhood trauma, and Sundays with Spirit. So find all of that on YouTube. My YouTube page is Ampspiration TTV. And you can also go to my link tree. In fact, I got my business card right here. Hopefully the glare. Good. No glare.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
if you go to
Definitely.
my link tree, you can find everything that I have going on. That is my email, my phone number. If you are a content creator and would like to have your podcast or any of the such to stream on television, hint, hint, sir. So we're looking for that. And we're looking for businesses who also would like their businesses advertised on television as well. So
Okay. All right. All
that's
right. I dig it.
more coming.
I love it. I love it. I love the content. I love the story. Keep being a motivation to others. Like I said, when I definitely came across you, and I was like, it was a no brainer. It was definitely a no brainer. So I love it having black entrepreneurs on who just having an amazing story. My story was just uh, going through life, with a disability and just not accepting myself for a long time and just trying to find myself and didn't really, my fiance took a liking into me that no other woman would, because I guess I had a disability and I had to go through that in life. So just how you spoke, how, relationships dudes wouldn't, you wouldn't for the dudes or whatever.
That girl. I wasn't that girl. I know.
Yeah. So I wasn't that guy like that, So I just knew that I was a geek of trying to do stuff like this and wrestling. So I just stayed to myself and obviously just found my purpose. So I definitely thank you for coming on and sharing your story. You have a social media that all my listeners could go to and follow you?
They sure can. If you are on IG, you can catch me at Ampspiremedia Network. If you are on Facebook, you can catch me at Ampspiremedia Houston. Houston is HUSTON. If you are on TikTok, you can catch me at Spiritual Amputee. And if you are someone who doesn't do the video thing, you like podcasts vocally, then you can go on Anchor, which also streams to Spotify, Google Podcasts, also on, what's that place called? Blue Post, I think it's called. No, WordPress. That's it. Yes, okay. WordPress.
Okay.
So you can catch me at all of those places. My Linktree is the best place to find all of that.
All right. Okay. Gotcha. I will put all the links. The links will be all down below. You guys here on YouTube. Once again, P.L.U.M.P Queen, thank you for coming through here on the 1130 podcast. Sit tight. We're going to chat a little bit more. After the break, you guys, I got my guy, RG, entrepreneur, the host of the Mini Hats, the infamous Mini Hats show, is going to be dropping by here on the 1130 podcast. This was a dope episode, for real, really dope. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then on the other side, like I said, I got my guest once again, P.L.U.M.P Queen. Thank you for coming through here this week on the 1130 podcast.
Appreciate y'all.
YouTube TV is a reinvented way to watch TV. No wires, no boxes, and unlimited DVR.
Wait, unlimited DVR?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm worried what that much power might do to me.
Okay. YouTube TV has real-time highlights to catch up on the game if you miss anything.
I actually like missing things. My team's awful.
Well, it also has personalized recommendations, so no more scrolling endlessly.
But scrolling endlessly lets me reject things.
Yeah, but...
Reject.
You don't need to sign an annual contract to watch YouTube TV.
What's wrong with signing contracts? I love signing contracts.
No, it's just...
Contracts are the best.
Okay.
Signing an annual contract almost makes me feel like I'm a professional athlete.
Oh boy. You can watch YouTube TV on any device.
TV is for TVs. TV on the phone is just unnatural.
No, don't do that. Don't.
It was unforgivable what you said about contracts.
Sorry.
What you did? Let me blame my phone.
You made him blend his phone.
Look, it's only $65 a month.
But my whole identity is built on overpaying for things.
Why do you want to take away his identity?
I don't.
Hey, I like overpaying for things.
Can we get another round?
All right, that's enough. Look, you should try YouTube TV for free. It's everything live TV should be.
Yo, what up? This your boy Kenneth Stones, a.k.a. Coffee Weaston. This your boy D.O.E. Good Brother Bowl. And we are the Dirty Hills. You already know, man, you tuning in to 1130 podcast. Not 7:30, but 11:30.
Dude, that's my job. Not 7:30, but 11:30.
Yeah. And you have been Dirty Hills approved.
Yo, we back here on the 1130 podcast. Appreciate everyone sticking with me throughout the short commercial break. Like I was saying throughout the show, I got an amazing guest that's going to be joining me as well. RG, entrepreneur, the host of the infamous Mini Hat show, coming through here on the 1130 podcast. But before we get to that, shout out my guest who was just joining me, P.L.U.M.P Queen. Thank you for coming through, sharing your amazing story here on the podcast. But for real, we're going to get into it. RG, what's going on with you, my guy?
What's going on, Dre on Wheels? Appreciate you for having me, my guy. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, doing blessed, man. How's your day going? How's life treating you?
It's another day in the life, you know what I'm saying? Entrepreneur stuff, never stops. The hustle don't stop. Always finding something new to get into, another avenue to explore.
Okay. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I appreciate you taking the invite and coming on the 1130 podcast this week before we get into everything. Once again, shout out to my guy, Kofi Weekston for making another interview like this happen. Definitely reached out to me, and I was like, yo, man, I'm doing this whole thing in February. We're just celebrating Black, excellence as far as men and women here on the podcast. And I was like, I got my guy. I'm going to definitely bring him on. And yo, you here on the show. And for my listeners and viewers, man, who are not familiar with you, tell everyone about yourself.
Well, yeah, first of all, definitely shout out to Kofi Weekston, a.k.a. Kenneth Stones, the good brother, the Dirty Heels. That's definite infamous hat extended family. You know what I'm saying? They definitely made this connection happen. Shout out to the whole wrestling community. They've been showing us mad love. You know what I'm saying? My brother Halo to God, he did a couple of intros. He did an intro for the Dirty Heels. Did a couple of other intros for a couple of other wrestlers. So them dudes, I can't even say enough about them dudes. Them dudes did so much. But yeah, man, right now, the host, or MC as I like to call myself, of the MC of the infamous Many Hats show. It's a show I started a year ago. We about to start season 3 in actually next week coming up, Monday, March 7th. But yeah, started it a year ago, as an experiment, and it actually took off and it did real well, you know what I'm saying? So by the time season 2 came around, I was like, all right, let's put something real together and let's make it get something official. And the response has been overwhelming, man. I'm just surprised to see how many people really dig the show, how many people vibe with it. It's a good amount of us on the show, so we get a good amount of response and a good amount of feedback. And sometimes you wonder if people just really rock with you because they're your peoples, or if they really digging the program. And dudes is really digging the program. So that's my main reward right now, just seeing how everybody's really responding to the show.
Yeah, I dig it, man. I definitely dig it. And I know what you're talking about. I was just talking about it with my other guests, not knowing whether someone, maybe, really like it or whatever, or whether it's positive feedback. But as long as you just keep the hustle in it and keep vibing, everything is definitely, going to be, the positive outcome is definitely going to be up, though. You say you started the infamous Many Hats show a year ago. What made you start the show?
Well, the infamous, to correct you, with the infamous.
The infamous.
Yeah, the infamous Many Hats. Well, when I started the show, around that time we were in the pandemic, and I don't really like to label my show a podcast, because I want it to be more experienced visually, but not to take anything away from podcasts, but when I was thinking about doing the show, I wanted to think about something that people could visually experience, because during the pandemic we had a lot of different information coming into our brain because we're sitting at home, and whether it's the social justice issues or just anything going on with the health crisis, at a point, it came to a point where I felt like I wanted to turn my brain off, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was like, I need a hub where I could just turn my brain on once a week and I can get all my information. Mm-hmm. And that's when I came up with the idea for the show, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody was just telling me, they was like, yo, you should do a show about sports. You should do a show about comic books. You should do a show about music, because I'm so well versed in so many different topics. So I was like, well, don't cut my nose off, sell my show short, you know what I'm saying? Why don't I just make it about everything? So I was like, yeah, let me just do that. Only bad part about it is that the show does exist now, but now I got to make it, so I can't really tune into that show, you know what I'm saying? But It is what it is.
Yeah, I definitely understand where you're coming from, my guy. Like, when I started this podcast, and when I initially started, I just wanted to chat about wrestling and stuff. So I was just like, yo, you know what? I really want to just, spread out and just chat about different things, with different people and different stuff. So I definitely understand. I understand that. You wear many hats, though. How many hats do you wear?
I mean, we wear so many hats. It's not only just me. It's like, it's just pretty much a name to just, compliment all of us, yourself, everybody that does so much more than just what it seems to be like what we're doing, So before we started the show, of course, I'm an MC, I'm a rapper, I'm a writer, I'm a basketball coach, I'm a basketball trainer. It's so many different things right now that I'm probably forgetting right now. I could probably just run off a list of so many different, credentials and things that I've done and things that I've had accomplished. But along with my cast members, you know, we got writers, we got graphic designers, we got my other boy who's a pastor, my other boy who's a CEO for his demolition and construction company, who's also a producer and makes a lot of our beats on our show. Shout out to my boy Sco Davis and DSD Demolition Construction. But yeah, we just do so much and we know so much, you know, so it's like I wear so many hats, but as far as the show, I wear almost every hat, you know what I'm saying? I write the show, I script it out, you know, I host the show, I MC the show, I edit the show, I design the show, you know, so, you know, pretty much I wear all the hats, you know what I'm saying?
I feel you. Sound just like me. Sound just like me, my guy.
I wasn't really fond of the name too much when I came up with the name, and I was like, what y'all think about many hats? And the crew kind of convinced me and sold me on the name I came up with. You know what I'm saying? They was like, nah, that shit fire, bro. Like, I'm like, okay. So I was like, all right, let me think about this. And then as we thought about the logo, it all solidified it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you ever seen the logo or you can throw it up, you know what I'm saying? But everywhere we go, like even when I told my man Ism, shout out to my boy Ism, I told him I was starting the show. And Ism is one of those dudes, he don't want people to talk about it. He want to see it. And I was like, yo, Ism, I got the logo done for this show I'm trying to do. He's like, listen, I don't want to hear nothing about it. Just do it. But I tell you one thing, though, that's a fire logo you got.
Hey, I love it, though. I do love it, man. And I dig it. You said you were MC and you were a writer. How long you been doing that?
Well, yeah, I've been writing since I was 15, 14. I would probably say studio recording since I was about 17. You know, I have a background in music through my dad. I don't really explore it too much, but he's a reggae producer, but sometimes you don't really know how much times things play a factor in your life. But I was able to excel in music a little bit quicker than some of my peers because I was able to like count bars and stuff like that. So like growing up in the hood, like the older dudes used to like bring me around and tell me to help them count their bars and stuff. So I used to kind of get a little validation off of that. They'd be like, yo, Rap, come over here in the corner. And I'm like, yo, this, I mean, dude, like 4 or 5 years older than me, spitting flames, man. He like, yo, how much was that? I'm like, nah, you a little over. You're a little short. Like, you know what I mean? So I was always good with that, you know what I'm saying? So always had music in the DNA, you know what I'm saying? Still want to do more music, you know? Like I said, the entrepreneurship don't stop. So, you know what I mean? Like my boy Halo said, you know, we can't put a cap on rap music and an age limit on rap music. So, you know, always got a story to tell.
Yeah, you always got a story to tell, man. Keep doing the music, man. I definitely would love to hear more. You said you're also a coach too? What you coach?
I coach basketball. Always was great in basketball. Never actually, you know, always had it up here IQ wise. So could always excel at basketball and always translate to coaching. I should have seen that from young because a lot of my friends from young, I used to, you know, help them with their mechanics and stuff like that. And, you know, these were dudes that were nicer than me. And I'm like, nah, bro, keep your elbow in or whatever like that. So coach youth basketball, you know, do real great with young kids. You know, they seem to respond real well to me. And I'm out here in PA now. I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, but I live in PA. So don't really get as much urban kids, but the urban kids that I do get, you know, their parents are glad that I'm around, you know, because I guess they're able to respect me and understand where I'm coming from a little bit more than, you know, the coaches that are out here and raised out here and grown up. So that's pretty good, you know. A lot of the parents, you know, accept me, and even the suburban parents, they love me and they love the urban style that I bring because, you know, I won't tolerate certain things from certain kids. So coaching basketball is a great experience. You know, I haven't done it much since the pandemic, you know, because I had a child right before the pandemic. So, you know, I still have small kids. So just don't really want to be around too many, you know, people like that in my house. So basketball is always great, but, you know, training one-on-one sessions and stuff like that, I still do that.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. As far as basketball and stuff, did you wanted to play, you know, for any special in the lead or anything, or life just took it turns?
Well, I mean, I always had hoop dreams. Everybody had hoop dreams, and then hoop dreams turn into mic dreams. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So definitely wasn't staying up to par with the grades and stuff, and I was failing off the team in high school, and that didn't work out. So once I wasn't really caring about that, I started turning my attention to one of my main talents, which was music, and the talent was there, you know what I'm saying? But of course, like I said, life gets in the way and certain things happen, but
I dig it.
As far as playing professionally, I would have loved to play it, but the knees and the back ain't hold up the way I wanted it to, you know what I'm saying? So
I feel you, man. I feel you. You also spoke about you just, had a child during the pandemic and stuff like that. I'm also a soon-to-be dad, too. I got a child, a baby boy that's going to be coming this August and anything like that. Any tips or any advice for us?
Congratulations.
Thank you. How many you got? Because, I'm always looking for, guys, who could lend me advice or, give me some heads up or anything like that, some tips as being a father, because I'm really looking forward to it.
The first tip I would tell you is that everything you do the first time, you're not going to want to do it the second time, because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the first tip I would say. The second tip is, man, just sometimes just look at them and just remember, like, man, I was that small one time, you know what I'm saying? Because it moved fast, you know what I'm saying? It moved fast.
Yeah.
I look at some pictures from 9-10 months ago that pop up in the memories and the stories, and I'd be like, man, this dude getting big. You know what I'm saying? So just, you know what I mean? Just remember every moment, be like, man, I was this small this time at one time, you know what I'm saying? And just enjoy it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, most definitely. That's why right now going through all bunch of emotions and feeling certain type of way, and don't know if I don't really have too many people that I can probably as far as male figures to turn to. That's why each and every week I come on here, but I just be like, man, is how I'm feeling valid, or should I feel this way valid? I don't know, but yeah, so. That's that, man. That's that. But we're gonna move on, you guys, here on the podcast. You mentioned basketball and you being a basketball coach. What was your thoughts on the NBA dunk contest?
Well, you see, everybody's gonna be mad and be like, "Oh, the dunk contest is terrible." And like I tell everybody all the time, man, the dunk contest is always terrible till it's not. You know what I'm saying? And then everybody forgets that it was great for like 4 or 5 years because they were so hyped up. And then the minute it gets terrible again, everybody be like, "Oh, see, the dunk contest was terrible." Because it's terrible now, but then we had Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon doing their thing. And then before them, it was terrible. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Then we had, Jason Richardson and Desmond Mason and them dudes doing their thing. And then before then, it was terrible. And then before that, we had Vince Carter and them. So it's always going to be this gap with the dunk contest that I don't think nobody's paying attention to. Like, there's always this area where it's either trumped by, maybe lack of all-stars or maybe just lack of, excitement for it. Maybe it's just no real reason to watch it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the names that are in it is not anybody that we feel like watching, you know what I'm saying? So, of course,
no star power.
Yeah, and then, you got these guys in the gym with 50,000 people staring at them, 2 million across the sea overseas. Like, they don't know what they're doing. They're not used to having this much eyes on them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then they forced to put on the show and they hear everybody booing them. And, Dre on Wheels just missed like 5 dunks with Here Come RG. I'm about to miss like 4 dunks now because I'm nervous. You know what I'm saying? Now, Kofi got to follow up and he really nervous now. Like, we don't know what we doing out here.
Yeah, man. I was watching it. I was like, man, what is going on, man? What is going on? And some of the legends were rolling out, and I was just like, I don't know if it was just the rookies or if it just wasn't star power, though. So I was a little confused on that one.
See, my whole thing, like, with the whole All-Star weekend, I feel like, if you're going to call it All-Star weekend, we got to see All-Stars in. I don't know if they got to do something in the Players Union or some kind of contract between the NBA and the CBA, but we got to figure out a way to make sure an all-star, like, if you're going to select 24 all-stars every year, you got to commit 2 All-Stars to every event. That's what it got to be. I don't care if LeBron and them, they got to hold a meeting in the back between the 24 and they say, listen, Ja, you got to do it. You got to take one for the team because you the youngest All-Star, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Steph, you and Trey go out there for the 3-point. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all got to figure this out, man, because it's All-Star weekend. Y'all got to figure out a way to get All-Stars to participate in All-Star events, you know what I'm saying? Not to take away from the guys that's not All-Stars, because you got some spectacular talents, you know what I'm saying? You know, 3-point shooters and some high flyers, but come on, man. We want to see All-Stars. All-Star weekend need to have All-Stars.
Exactly. I was watching the All-Star game and I was just like, man, Steph Curry, he was the only highlight besides, just shooting the threes, but it's no really competition going on. It's just, the guys just having fun though. But yeah, that's that. Yes, that the dunk contest and that weekend needs to get a little bit better. But speaking of horrible, what was going on in the world in some places, inflation. What's your thoughts on inflation? Because it seems though everywhere you go, 2 years ago, something at the corner store or whatever was $1, and now it's $5, $6, and let's not even talk about gas prices though. But your thoughts on inflation and what's going on?
Well, me being an entrepreneur, probably like a couple years ago, my whole outlook on inflation has changed, because I put myself in the driver's seat to do other things. And I was just reading an article the other day, and they was like, well, milk is going up, gas is going up, batteries have gone up. Don't be afraid to boost your prices. And, I started thinking about it. I said, man, am I selling myself short with some of the things I'm offering, whether it's digital designs or website and everything. And I'm like, maybe I need to inflate, you know what I mean? So as far as, the market, it all depends on, can you keep up with the Joneses? And as far as, for the customer, inflation is definitely going to be a part of your daily, what's the word I'm trying to say? You're gonna feel it, one way or another, because we all got to buy toilet paper. We all got to buy deodorant and toothpaste. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to feel it one way or another, whether, any circumstance during your days, but as far as me from a business standpoint, you always want to give people something that's going to make them feel like it's valuable. So I'm always going to, come at it with a street mentality too. So, hey, everybody was selling, podcasts, Dre on Wheels got his podcast for $6 and Kofi got it for $6, but inflation is going up and now everybody's going to 10. All right, I can go up. I'll probably go up to 9 though. You know what I mean? I go up, you know what I'm saying? Because I can't just stay at 6 because, everybody gonna look at me like, well, why he at 6 still? His stuff ain't really that good, because it's sad, but we live in a trendy society, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. You're so right about that. And far as taking it up $9 or leaving it at $6 though, you don't want to get left behind. But I definitely see what you're saying as far as a business standpoint. Like I had and like you said, as far as being in the hood, you know how to hustle. You want to hustle, man. Hey, yo, I got this for $5, yo, I got this for $6. But at the same time, you want to make some money though. So you're gonna have to go up. So I definitely understand what you're saying, man. What you feel about what's going on in the world right now?
Well, like I said, man, we about to come back on Monday, March 7th, infamous Many Hats, and like I said, during the off season, I kind of took a break from, paying attention to the news and media and stuff like that, because, even the stuff that we don't report on, I'm still reading about it and still absorbing it, and it's a lot to digest at times. So I'm like, all right, we about to gear up and everything like that. And I'm like, here we go. I ain't even got to look for the news. The news come looking for me, and, the situation in Ukraine, I don't want to dive too deep into it, but I would say this, we just came out of a pandemic and, war is big bucks, so, you take from that what you want to take from that. You know, I don't want to get too, you know, political or too crazy on your show, but you know, here we are, you know, and all our resources have seemed to be replenished, you know, and here we go again, you know, time to start polluting the world back again with more missiles and grenades and smoke.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. It really is, though, man.
Like, did you see during the pandemic all of the stuff that was happening, all of the sea creatures that was coming to land?
No, I didn't.
You should see, like, at the beaches, there was turtles that was coming up on shore laying eggs, different whale channels that was passing through different currents of the ocean because you don't got ships moving through the channels in certain seas. And, you know, sometimes you just think and you be like, all right, y'all fix the world or just mess it back up again. You know what I'm saying? But as far as, like I said, the pandemic went down and everybody was struggling financially, so guess everybody got money now, you know, to fund this war. So
crazy, man. WTF all the way. Speaking of WTF, you guys, man, we're gonna move on here on the podcast. It's time for the WTF moment of the week, you guys. Yes, WTF moment of the week. Each and every week here, RG, I share a WTF moment. Whether that's something you may have seen, heard, saw, whatever the case may be. I allow my guests to go first. If you have a WTF moment you would like to share, something you have seen, heard, or anything?
Not too much. Just, you know, I don't know if this probably would consider WTF, but I guess it's the new trend right now is going on in Walmarts. People asking people to buy them a water because they forgot their wallet, and people are just brushing people off. You know what I'm saying? And you know, people are ending up buying the water for them. People are paying for their whole grocery list. So I don't know if this is like a trend. I saw a couple people posting it on IG. It just happened to my girl in Walmart the other day. Not necessarily my girl, but she saw it happen in Walmart out here, where, you know, some guy was asking somebody to buy his water for them. And they were like, no, get out of here. And then this one woman offered to buy the water. And he ended up paying for $292 worth of groceries, the woman's groceries. So, like, I don't know if that's considered a WTF moment, but, like, why is everybody, is this like a trend? Like, people should just be doing this just to do it. Don't be doing this to make it a social media, you know what I'm saying? Just to, you know, go viral. But I don't know. I guess that's the new viral thing right now is being nice. Yeah. I guess like you seen Free Guy? The Free Guy movie just came out?
No, I didn't see it. I want to see it though. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's a Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds, you know what I'm saying? And he's like in the video game, but I ain't gonna ruin it for you. But pretty much, you know, everybody does the Grand Theft Auto kind of stuff, running around, shooting stuff up and robbing the bank and getting 5 stars. His character's pretty much leveling up for doing nice things. You know what I'm saying? Helping old ladies across the street and, you know, helping doing stuff like that. So I guess the Free Guy trend is in right now. WTF.
Yeah, WTF all the way. That's what it exactly seems like, though. Every now everybody got to post something or do something for social media and be like, yo, man, this is what I did, man. Hey, yo. And so they can go viral and stuff, man. It don't make sense. Don't make sense at all. Speaking of what don't make sense, my WTF moment, you guys, came out of Boston, Massachusetts. It was a 19-year-old student. Can't figure out what university or where he was going to. But nonetheless, though, he went out one night or delivered, he had takeout delivered to him, carry out delivered to him, was like, yo, man, I'm going to crunch down. Woke up the next morning, I guess, you know, he had some leftovers. And to come to find out, this guy lost his leg and his fingers from eating the leftovers.
That's not going to discourage me from eating leftovers. It's just going to make sure I continue to eat leftovers from where I've been eating my leftovers from. That is wow, man. That's a storyboard.
Yeah, that's WTF all the way, though. I mean, like, come on, though. You losing your whole leg and your arms, though, and your fingers and your legs, though. I think that's real crazy, though. You know?
Yeah, man. When you start losing your extremities and all types of limbs and parts like that, like, that sounded like it was something wrong before it became leftovers.
Yeah, it really did. I don't think it was the leftovers' fault, man. I don't think so at all.
Oh man, that is definitely a story that you would definitely, man. That's a story you got to read twice. Like, make sure you reading it right.
I know, man. WTF all the way. WTF all the way. RG, man. Like you said, the infamous, right? I'm saying it right. The infamous Mini Hats show. You say you come back Monday. Tell my listeners where they can catch it at and where they can go subscribe to it, so they can make sure they be locked in.
Yeah, man, you can catch us on YouTube. We also on Odyssey, you know what I'm saying, for another video experience if you want to watch us there. Of course, you can look us up on Instagram and Facebook. You can also listen to us on iHeartRadio. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Music, so many different Reason FM. It's many different platforms you can check us out on, man. Just Google the infamous Many Hats, and I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find us, man. It's not too... There's nobody out here with that name, actually. But yeah, we'll be back March 7th. Check us out, you know what I'm saying? We definitely will have you on, definitely. Gonna have you on with some WTF moments because, man, but yeah, definitely appreciate you having us on Dre on Wheels. All my peoples that's watching and tuning in, definitely subscribe to his show and his channel. Definitely give him love. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Blackheart. Definitely the commission. Love watching you dudes, man. You dudes are funny as shit, man.
Yeah. Each and every week, Warren Marlowe and Blackheart, man, definitely be going at each other. I love it, man. I definitely love it. Any plans you got coming up, man, for the new season or just in 2022?
Well, yeah, man. This season we're trying to have a lot more people on, you know, because first season, like I said, first 2 seasons we had people on and people just love the vibe. They love the experience. So we definitely want to have more people on. As far as me and Omega Khalil Productions, that's my production company. We're launching the radio station at the end of this month. At the end of March, early April, we're in the process of launching the radio station. In the process of launching a digital magazine. Bunch of different other ventures that I'm trying to get into. Of course, definitely trying to get back into basketball, but more or less throwing basketball events as far as instead of coaching, start, have my own basketball team and stuff like that, get my little Rucker Park on, my little Gersh Park on, you know what I'm saying? But
okay.
Those kind of ventures I got going on right now. So right now, that's it, man. Just keeping grinding, keep expanding the brand. You know what I'm saying? Keep pushing my guys. My boy Jim Bob, he got his show we about to drop, The Real Right Review, coming out where he'll be reviewing albums and music. My boy Halo, he got his production coming out, his album on the way. Gonna be pushing that soon. And, just keeping doing what we doing, man.
Yeah, man. You got some big things and big plans coming up, man, for 2022. I dig it. I always ask my guests, each and every week. I'm gonna ask you this before you go. What keeps you inspired? What keeps you motivated and keep going each and every day?
What keeps me inspired is my kids and my friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, they keep me grounded and they keep me inspired because, like I tell people all the time, man, this is it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at this point in my life right now, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've always bet on myself, you know what I'm saying? But definitely, like, you know what I'm saying, being around my guys, you know what I'm saying? My boy who got his own trucking company, my boy Lo that continue to do the music and continue to do stuff, whether it's intros or write for other people and get them music, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's Kofi and them, you know what I'm saying? And how big they got the Dirty Heels, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
They my inspiration, and they talk about I inspired them, and I'm like, man, y'all don't even know, man. Y'all get me out of bed.
Yeah, man, for real. Definitely shout out to everyone who support both of us, man, and all the podcasts, and definitely shout out to the Dirty Heels, man, for real. They always saying, man, I inspire them as well. They be killing it. They always on time with everything, man, especially when it come to wrestling too. They're my guys, though. But yo, RG, man, I appreciate you joining me here on the podcast. Before you go, shout out to the questions, anything you'd like to say?
No, just shout out to the whole infamous Many Hats family. Shout out to the Dirty Heels. Shout out to the whole wrestling community, Dre on Wheels, the commission. Shout out to Clark Street Wrestling. Can't forget
Yo.
y'all show mad love.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Cool. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to 300 for Life, Lady Leo Films. Shout out to my boy Chris Dredd. Shout out to my boy Meek Man. Just anybody that's inspired me to put the content out there, man. Anybody that's keeping me going. You know what I'm saying? My boy Omari. You know what I'm saying? My boy Rails out in Atlanta. Check his show out, Atlanta Ugly. They got an independent show that they do out there in Atlanta. They doing like 6,000-7,000 views a week. They doing it up, you know what I'm saying? Independent. So when I see people like that, you know what I'm saying? Shout them out, man. Definitely, you know what I'm saying? Gotta always say their names because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. So shout y'all out, man. Definitely. And of course, shout out my family, shout out my girl, shout out my moms, everybody, of course. Because they gonna watch this and they gonna be like, how you don't shout me out? So, my sister, my cousin.
I feel you, man. I know what you're talking about. Yo, for real, definitely got to support Black independent podcasts, Black independent businesses and everything, man. For real. Definitely shout out to Clark Street Wrestling, all the guys, all the wrestling podcasters and everything. RG, this was a dope vibe, man. Having you coming on the show, chatting with me. I'm always tongue-tied every time I get on here. But it was really, really dope. Thank you once again for coming in on the 1130 podcast. I wish you nothing but the best. Keep killing it, my guy. And I'll definitely be tuning in. Like you said, you're always welcome here, and I'm always down to come on your podcast, my guy. So, yo, keep at it and stay seated for a moment. We're gonna chat in just a bit. But you guys, this has been an amazing show. I want to thank P.L.U.M.P Queen for coming on the show earlier to share her amazing story and being an entrepreneur, CEO. Also, I have my guy RG here on the 1130 podcast. But before we go, you know what time it is. Don't forget to follow the 1130 podcast on all social media platforms. Follow the 1130 podcast on Twitter at the 1130 podcast. Like the 1130 podcast on Facebook and subscribe. Yes, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the 1130 podcast on YouTube. And also the 1130 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. All new episodes each and every Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 12 noon. Streaming on YouTube, and the audio version will be available the next day. And also don't forget to follow me on Instagram at the 1130 podcast _. And once again, it's been a dope episode, dope month here, celebrating Black excellence. So shout out to all my guests who came through here on the podcast. Shout out to everyone who support the 1130 podcast. We're going up from here, for real. It's been a great one. It's been a dope one from my guy RG, from Dre on Wheels. Stay blessed, stay safe, give all the glory to God, man. Won't he do it? And yo, man, I'm out.